Oops. Pink there, orange there, yellow there. I am looking forward to the NVIDIA ray tracing. I wonder when they're gonna get that out. Like have it in a lot of games that we can look at. Yellow, so pink is there, right? Right. Do you have VR, Q? Or have you tried virtual reality headsets and things? Anyway, it's more stuff that I don't quite have the money for. I want to see like if VR Skyrim is any good, for example. Pink, orange, yellow. There. This is curious. This is an interesting roof that doesn't actually work in Minecraft, but you can kind of see what I'm getting at. I might put red in the crosses. Anyway, let's finish this. Orange and then yellow. Pink, orange, yellow. Q says my nephew has VR. I've not tried it beyond a quick 5 minutes. Was impressive even on low-end system like he has. Interesting. Orange, yellow. I wish it would take off even more. Like it's happened, right? I mean, there's already quite a few games with VR. It hasn't quite exploded into the mainstream, although you can kind of see it almost there. Maybe it's still a little bit too expensive, at least for the quality stuff. That's not right, is it? Yellow, pink. Q says, yeah, I want games and other things to work, but where it's not necessarily necessary to stand. Movement though through a joystick or something. Yeah. But I'm thinking if more games were made for the VR hardware, then the game developers will eventually figure out like what the best thing to do is. Q says, rather than having the issue of bashing into walls, that is an issue. I suppose like simulator games, like a spacecraft sim or like a truck driving sim, like a Euro Truck Simulator. You know, where the game itself is you're sitting in a vehicle and driving a thing. Maybe that makes sense, right? As opposed to a game where you're running around with a sword, like Skyrim. Q says there's certainly more games in VR that I was unaware of, like Skyrim. Yeah. There a number of developers have made VR ports of their older games. Pink, orange, yellow. Orange and yellow. Q says, well, that's the thing. I don't want to physically move around in games that have your characters move. For me, it's more immersive and only my eyes are full. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I play games specifically not to exercise. It would be a completely against the point of gaming to have to run around. Q says my immersion is better when I'm not subconsciously expecting to hit the wall in my apartment. Yeah, yeah. Orange, yellow, pink, orange, yellow. I suppose things like if you're driving a mech, driving a vehicle. Orange, yellow. Yellow, pink. Well, VR is indeed a new thing, and we are, yeah, you're right, we are used to just playing on a screen. But no, I don't want to walk around my room. Like, I would have to rearrange all the furniture in my room so I don't kick things. Like, you have to dedicate a whole room to this if you have VR that requires you to move around. Although, conceivably, like really high-end VR equipment might be an actual, like a full room where the floor moves. The floor moves in all directions, and so when you walk, the floor moves underneath you. Like a treadmill except in all directions. But that seems a little excessive to, in my opinion. 360 treadmill. I wonder how much that'll cost. Like, I don't know, $50,000? A 3-dimensional treadmill, and then you just walk for days and days and days on your epic RPG, and then your legs get tired. Q says, or hooked up to one of those rotating circles so you could do the death moves in Skyrim when you tumble down mountains after being flame breathed on by a dragon. What if you had like a harness, and the harness was on wires, and you like you go up and down as well as sideways? That seems like a lot of work. I mean, if you're gonna do that, you might as well just go fight dragons for real, you know what I mean? Why even have VR? Why not just go kill a real dragon? Imagine things like Jurassic Park, where you have dinosaurs, and it's VR. Alright, so now we have some bright colors in the ceiling. So I have not considered in any way anything else other than the ceiling. And now I realize I need to do something about the ground down here. I suppose clear glass would be like the cheap answer, but I don't know if I want to do the cheap answer. Alright, first of all, foundations. What foundations? Do we go for white concrete foundations? Maybe we have multicolored foundation. Q says it's the horror games that would be really good, assuming you could stand the increased tension, like Alien Isolation, hiding in vents, etc. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Some of this Until Dawn, I haven't seen Until Dawn. Some of this would be a little bit strange though, because if you're in a vent, if in the game you're crawling through a vent, but in body, your body is just sitting in a chair with a headset on. I don't know if that's gonna be immersion breaking or not. Like close contact horror kind of requires your body to be immersed as well as your eyes, I feel like. I don't know, maybe. So I was thinking here, maybe the ground should be multicolored in a way that is similar to the roof is multicolored. Because the idea was to have the multicolored light kind of bounce around the kaleidoscope and then have like shafts of colored light hitting the ground as well, so that underneath here it should all just be like bright colors. Since we can't have that in Minecraft, maybe I just make the floor of the station multicolored tiles. which, if we look for multicolored tiles, not wool, concrete powder, concrete's a little too bright. Terracotta is a little too dull. Concrete, all of this is a little too bright. It might be the terracotta, so we want yellow, orange, pink, and red. If we make the floor the same pattern of colors, what happens? Q says, or multicolored vertical beams leading into holes in the roof made of glass. That's... My first instinct is no, but my second consideration is maybe yes. At least we can do that for walls, maybe. Maybe the walls should also align with the pattern. Maybe put the floor down first, because the floor needs to be something solid. Q says, I guess there's too many, but we don't have to do it for every prism. Too many holes. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to do it for every hole. We can do it for, like, some of them, and not the rest. It might answer the question of what we do about the walls. Anyway, let me do the floor first. I think I want this. I like this blue. Let's put the blue underneath everything. In fact, should I? This is a really brightly colored. This blue might be a bit much. Let's choose a duller blue. Dull colors for the ground because it's close, and therefore people are gonna, like, seriously. What is this? Light blue concrete or a light blue terracotta? So less bright colors on the ground so people don't get confused. And then I have to repeat this pattern, which I don't even remember anymore. 1, 2, 3. Alright, 1, 2, 3. 2 there. Like that. And then the foundation goes all the way down. I just realized that we completely blocked the river now. I just realized if I do this, the entire river gets blocked. No, maybe I don't do this. Maybe I pull this back. So that it sits tighter. In there. I mean, the road or the path is there, which is kind of strange because it doesn't really line up. And then 1, 2, 3. Oops. One, two, three. You know, on second thought,